Top 10 takeaways through 2 weeks of 49ers training camp. Let's get right into it, starting with the defense. Number 1, Jason Pinnock is a huge upgrade over Jair Brown at safety. Brown was solid as a rookie, and then last year he was pretty good in coverage, 6 pass breakups, 1 interception, 2 touchdown catches allowed, but he played through a shoulder injury and was a big reason the Niners' run defense was so awful. This offseason, he's playing through an ankle injury, and he's getting smoked in coverage. Every time he's on the field, Brock Purdy does great. George Kittle does great. He's just not that good in man-to-man coverage, and he's not that rangy in center field, as opposed to Jason Pinnock, who really can cover tight ends and really has given Brock Purdy problems. Through 13 practices that Purdy has participated in, Pinnock has intercepted him twice and broken up 2 other passes, one of which was intercepted by D. Winters. So as long as he's not a liability against the run, he's going to be a good player for the 49ers. 2, Deommodore Lenoir is a legitimate number 1 cornerback. He's been really good for the last 2 seasons, but he wasn't the number 1 corner. Travarius Ward was, which means that Ward often covered the other team's best wide receiver. Now, Lenoir has to do that, and so far in camp, he's better than every wide receiver on the field, better than Ricky Pearsall, Jawan Jennings, you name him. The only person who's ever been able to challenge Lenoir on this team is Brandon Ayuk, at least before he injured his knee. During practices this offseason, Purdy almost always avoids throwing into Lenoir's coverage because testing him is too dangerous. 3, Nick Martin is the greenest rookie on the team. Every other rookie seems ready to contribute. Mykel Williams, Alfred Collins, and CJ West all seem like they're going to help the run defense right away. Upton Stout's going to start at nickelback. Jordan Watkins and Jordan James will contribute here and there as backups when healthy. Marquise Siegel just might start at strong safety. Junior Bergen is the starting returner. And Connor Colby just might start at left guard if Ben Bartch gets hurt. More on him in a minute. Nick Martin is the only rookie who might not be ready to play yet. That's because he missed most of last season with an injury, and he's still adjusting to the speed of the game, which means he was a bit of a liability in every phase and every facet in the Niners' first preseason game. He might make his biggest contributions on special teams as a rookie. 4, Nick Bosa's on the verge of a monster season. There's a few reasons for that. 1, he has more talent around him than he's had in the past. Bryce Huff might be better than D. Ford ever was on the 49ers. He is a legit speed rusher and a good number 2 complementary option. Then you have Mykel Williams, who's a good third option and a pretty good interior rusher in his own right. This is going to take a lot of pressure off of Nick Bosa. In addition, Robert Saleh is going to scheme up the pressure and give Bosa better matchups than he's had since DeMeco Ryans was the defensive coordinator in 2022. That's when Bosa was the defensive player of the year. Finally, Bosa has incentive to play his best because he's probably going to want a contract extension next year. He's running out of guaranteed money, and the defensive end market is exploding. Now, great defensive ends get more than $40 million a year. He's in the $30 million a year range. 5, a rookie might start on the offensive line. The Niners gave Ben Bartch the first opportunity to start at left guard, but he can't stay healthy, and he just got hurt again in practice the other day. The details of the injury are not yet known, but it's clear the Niners can't depend on him. When Bartch went down, his replacement was rookie 7th-round pick Connor Colby, who played well in the Niners' preseason loss to the Broncos. The next day, Shanahan was asked who stood out, and he mentioned the blocking. I guess he was talking about Colby in particular. The Niners may have found another 7th-round gem. 6, an undrafted rookie might be the best backup running back on the team. Jordan Mason was the backup last season, but the Niners traded him to the Vikings for some weird reason. Isaac Guerrero was supposed to replace him, but he's hurt all the time, including now. Got a shoulder injury. That means the Niners' number 2 running back currently is Patrick Taylor Jr., who had 7 rushing yards on 5 carries in the Niners' preseason opener. Not great. The next day, when Shanahan was asked who stood out to him, he mentioned undrafted rookie Cory Ker by name. That's because Kiner was really good in the game. 10 carries, 45 yards. He's explosive. He's elusive, at least in comparison to Patrick Taylor Jr., who's just kind of big. Not only should Kiner make the team, but he should be in serious contention to back up Christian McCaffrey, who needs a good backup at his age. 7, George Kittle is the best player on the offense. It's not Christian McCaffrey or Trent Williams anymore. Those two are still good, but they're not as good as they were a couple years ago. Trent Williams used to dominate Nick Bosa in the one-on-ones. Now, when they face each other, Bosa tends to win. And McCaffrey used to dominate everyone every day when he was on the field. Now, that's what George Kittle does. George Kittle is the guy who draws the oohs and the ahs. He's the guy who has 2-3 touchdowns in a day. He's the guy who still looks like he's 27, not McCaffrey. He's probably the biggest mismatch in the league. And the Niners have to figure out how to get him the ball more often, because what's the point in throwing the ball to Ricky Pearsall 150 times when George Kittle is just flat out better than him? 8, at some point this season, they will have the following wide receivers on their roster: Brandon Ayuk, Jawan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, Demarcus Robinson, Jordan Watkins, and Jacob Cowing. Those are 6 good players. Unfortunately for the Niners, Ayuk, Jennings, and Watkins are injured now, and Robinson is facing a multi-game suspension to start the season, which he's appealing. That means they might have to use players such as Robbie Chosen, Russell Gage, and Junior Bergen week 1 against the Seattle Seahawks. So that's not good. 9, Mac Jones is better than Jimmy Garoppolo and Sam Darnold. Yeah, I said it. Garoppolo had some successful seasons with the Niners, but he was never particularly good in practice. He threw a lot of interceptions and generally seemed confused. Darnold only participated in 1 training camp, and he was solid, but he didn't master the offense mentally as quickly as Jones has. Darnold seemed like a talented quarterback who was learning a system for the first time. Jones seems like he's been in the system for years. He rarely hesitates with the ball in the pocket. He should be able to win on this team if Purdy goes down. 10. The Niners will call runs for Brock Purdy this year. Purdy is much more mobile than he gets credit for. Last season, he rushed 66 times for 343 yards and 5 touchdowns, and none of those runs were called or designed. Purdy simply improvised, which he does quite well. This offseason, the Niners actually are beginning to call design runs for Purdy in practice, which is long overdue. He could pick up an additional 15 to 20 first downs per season with his legs if the Niners simply called zone reads for him occasionally on 3rd and short and 4th and short, which it seems they will now. That means teams will have to account for Purdy as a runner on those plays, and that will improve the offense as a whole.